Welcome, everyone, to Websleuths YouTube Live. My name's Trisha Griffith. Nice to meet you. Let me introduce you to Othram Tech's Bug Nugget the First. Yes, Othi for short. Again, as you've seen all week, he has gotten a new lamb, and he is just loving it. And this is all I do all day long. Scrappy Joe is right beside me, all snuggled and asleep. Kitty cats are here somewhere. Just texted with my son. He's happy. Life is good. And I get to manage Websleuths.com. See that name right there? That's a true crime discussion forum. It's been around since 1999. And I mean, how lucky is that? I get to get up. That's what I do. I get to go read about true crime and discuss true crime and get with people and talk about true crime. I mean, am I not the luckiest person on the planet? I feel like I am. So welcome to Websleuths YouTube Live. And tonight, there is a terrifying story coming out of Utah. This man said that it had to be, that he had to do this. He had to kill these 3 random women. And this is what scares me about even going outside. These women got up that morning, had no idea it was going to be their last day on earth, that a maniac was just going to come and shoot them. Didn't know him for no reason. That's what scares me. And I think that's a big fear of everybody's is if we go out there, are we going to come back? And these 3 women didn't. We're going to talk about that. We're going to update you on the latest in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. Brian Entin is still in Tucson, hasn't left yet. But the big talk today was there a Wi-Fi jammer? Now, according to a neighbor that is very close, well, as close as a neighbor can be in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood, there was a camera that was closest to her house that didn't work for the same time that supposedly the kidnappers were inside. That video is not available. They had 3 other cameras. They worked just fine. But the camera that was closest to Nancy's, no video. And they said their dog started barking around that same time too. Was there a Wi-Fi jammer? I'm going to show you a quick picture here. And then we're going to talk about it. And I have a very special guest I'm so excited to introduce you to. But let me show you this picture. Okay, really quickly. This is from the camera footage, from the doorbell. And see, that's what they think might be the Wi-Fi jammer right there. Is it? Well, a lot of the so-called experts are saying, no, that's just not a good theory. No, it's not it. But there are others that think maybe it will be. And we are very fortunate to have with us in amongst our midst, amongst the mad chatters, a woman named Colleen. She is, I just call her the computer genius because she's been working on computers and working on mainframes and building computers and working on software for over 30 years. And she goes by the nickname Crash. And we met at CrimeCon. And every time I ask Crash a computer question, I get an answer within 30 seconds. And it's brilliant, always, always. And Crash, tell everybody how you got your name. I love this story. It's fantastic.
So, hi everybody. So I a downhill skier, and my ski buddies, we would go out west to Vail or actually Utah. We've been skiing in Utah many times, and I would usually do the black diamonds or double black diamond runs, and I'd go flying by them. And one of the girls said, "You're gonna crash," and so she's like, "You ski like you're gonna crash." So the name stuck. She started calling me Crash, and it's been my nickname for a long time, at least 20 years.
And it has stuck. Everybody calls you Crash at CrimeCon, and you're going to be at CrimeCon this year again too.
Yes.
And it's going to be a blast. Stacy, welcome, my dear. Are you doing okay? Stacy?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Good.
I was muted because of the frogs.
Oh, we love the frogs. Don't
Oh,
we
we like the frogs. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're obnoxious.
No, they're not. They're wonderful. We love them. Keep them up. They're so pretty. They sound fake. So, okay.
I'm trying to stay away from my burping husband.
I know. Oh God, that was so funny last night. We've got to put that on the bonus reel of funny stuff. Her husband
saved it under blooper reels. Yep.
Blooper, yeah. Her husband gave a big loud belch while we were listening to a jailhouse phone call. I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. and I laughed all day. I mean, we got to play it. Maybe we'll play it again tonight because it was just so damn hilarious. And again, I am 12. I laugh when people accidentally burp. What can I say? Okay, let's get to Nancy. I can't believe we are on day 33. But what has come out is a possibility of a Wi-Fi jammer, meaning there are all these different types of jammers, and I guess they're illegal. But
Yes.
Crash, tell us about what is a Wi-Fi jammer? Why is it illegal? And why do you think somebody like this would have a Wi-Fi jammer?
Because they're doing illegal things, for one thing.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So the jammer, it interrupts the Wi-Fi by broadcasting the same radio signals as the frequency of, say, your Wi-Fi or your cell phones, or your cell signal. So what it does is it overwhelms the Wi-Fi router, and it causes too much traffic, packet loss, meaning it's just so much at once that you're not going to get a signal anymore. It's kind of like when everybody hits a server at once and it crashes the server. It's kind of like the same thing. So, so that's what that device does. Now they're portable. You can have it in your car. You can plug it into your cigarette lighter in your car and drive around and jam signals. And they also can range pretty far as well, like a few hundred meters. So I think it's possible that they did it. And then the other thing I did look up was if her Wi-Fi was jammed, would that camera still work? And if she has a newer Nest camera that has like the capability to save video or photos on the device without a Wi-Fi signal, then yeah, that like there's a memory chip in there. Instead of like some camera, like the older cameras, they would just automatically go up to the cloud, and you have to have Wi-Fi signal for that to work. But if she had a newer one that has the memory capability, then it could save on there, and then once Wi-Fi is restored, it could go up to the cloud. So I think it's very possible
that they were doing that. And like you said, because they're doing illegal things, they want to jam anything that could possibly record them. And I find that just chilling that somebody could just drive around and just mess with people's Wi-Fi. Well, they're illegal, so you'd have to build it yourself, right?
No, I could order one right now online.
How if they're illegal? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
well, maybe they're used for something else.
You can buy that are all illegal that, they're available online. So,
I'll send you the website. It's massive. It's got all kinds on there. That's why I went today to find the picture for the thumbnail of one.
Yeah. Well, I found one for, how much is it? $899.
Wow. So is there a legit reason that somebody would order one?
Other than doing bad things? I really don't know why else you would need it.
Unless, you just want to like stop your kids from getting on the internet and you can't turn it off or something,
Possible, but
I can't think like a criminal. That's my problem. I can't figure out why they're doing these things. Stacy, you said you had some questions for Crash.
Yes. So, okay. So as far as I know, we don't know what time the Nancy Guthrie video was of the man in front of the house with the flowers and all that. What I'm stuck on trying to think, okay, so if somebody used a jammer and their stuff was messed up, but Nancy's was still able to get the stuff from Google, even though she didn't have a subscription. So that means it was working and recording.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, but we don't know the times. So
right. Okay. So the timestamps are missing, and that could be because the Wi-Fi was off.
Yes.
Unless the camera keeps an internal clock. you know.
Oh,
But
gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, but I think that if her Wi-Fi was down and she has the kind of camera that can save to an internal memory, then you can access that later, like
Later,
once
yeah.
Wi-Fi is attached again. So
Mm.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think, looking at that picture, do you think that's a possibility?
that's what's in his pocket, you mean?
Right. Yes.
It's no, these things are too big.
Okay.
I mean, here, let me show you what this this big old thing looks like.
Trish.
Yes.
Well, like I was saying before we start, it's on the thumbnail. I found one that looks like a
Yeah.
walkie.
Look at that. Yeah, it
Oh,
looks like a big old walkie-talkie with a bunch of
right. Big,
antennas.
huge, big thing.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can have that in your pocket.
Well,
Right.
I'll upload the picture of the one I found real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah,
And
do.
it's from the website. I just emailed you the link, and it's from that website is where I found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I'm like, that doesn't look like a jammer to me in his pocket. So
No.
that sounds so I had to go look to find out.
Mhm.
So okay, this one.
Let's- Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
get
I
that.
don't know how
And
big it is though.
right.
I
Right.
need to read.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
don't know. Can somebody in chat, do you have any idea why somebody would want one of these legitimately? What would a legitimate reason be to have one
Right.
of these?
A legitimate reason, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't imagine. So, but again, like Megan said, or everybody in chat was saying, you can buy anything online.
Yep.
And again, this could be anything. We have no idea
Mm-hmm.
why she was taken. I mean, you just hear back and forth, back and forth. I was listening to Jim. Oh gosh, why do I always forget his name?
Rathman?
No, I love him. But Jim, I was telling you about him the other day. I couldn't remember. Jim Clemente. I love Jim Clemente.
Oh yeah.
Great guy, friend of
Yeah, I do
Websleuths.
too. Mhm.
And he was talking about, this could be like an obsessed fan of Savannah's, and other people was saying somebody who's obsessed with Savannah, and Savannah ignored him, so he's going to do something to get her attention. I think all of that is absolutely legitimate. It could be somebody that had no idea this was Savannah Guthrie's mom.
Right.
I just wish
Any of those things are
again,
possible.
the sheriff needs to say something, because it's not working the way he's doing it. Just something, just a little something. Do you, Crash, do you have any theory at all that you are kind of in favor of in this kidnapping?
I still think obviously, I still think it's somebody that knows her or is close to her or has access to her house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was the deal with the security system? Was that not on either? Or does she have a security system?
Well, she had the camera, but she didn't have the service for it. And that's why they had to go to Google and get the video.
But like a security system is a separate thing. Like,
Oh, I see.
like when you have a window break or a window
Right.
open, or
I don't know if she had one. I don't know if she
Yeah.
did.
We've only
Everybody
heard
should
about the
have
Nest
one.
camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Everybody should have a security system these days.
I've got one,
Yeah, me too.
anything starts to push my door, I get an alert,
Yes.
front door. And
Yep.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing more chilling than at 3 a.m. when you hear garage door open.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh.
And I had that happen the other night.
Oh
It just
no.
popped open because because there's probably a serial killer in there waiting for me. I don't know. But it just popped open and scared the living hell out of me,
Oh, I'm
But
sure.
I'm so glad I have it. And you have them, do you have them on your windows too? And
I have all my
everywhere?
windows, has all the motion detectors on the windows. I have
Mhm.
glass break detection and motion detection inside the house. I have several outdoor cameras, the whole works, and a doorbell camera, of course, too.
Good.
So
Good.
at least and the thing with all that is it gives you at least 30 seconds to a minute to at
Yes.
least get your weapon ready, so to speak, if
Yes.
somebody comes barging through your bedroom door and you're half asleep.
You're right.
I mean,
It gives you
it's peace of mind.
a bit of a head start,
It does.
you know. And
Right.
I had somebody, just a little safety thing. In fact, it was Lizard Tia, who is the one that told me, get a can of wasp spray, you know, the kind that
Yeah.
has a big
Oh,
stream.
yeah. Yep.
I thought that is a great idea. You just, God, you
Yep.
zap that sucker in their eyes and they're done. Like I said, I do have a gun, but
It
I
shoots
think
a long way too.
28 feet, I've
Yeah.
practiced. Yeah. And I have a gun, but I think I would do better with throwing it at their head than trying to shoot them, you know? So, but I don't
Well,
know.
right. Yeah.
But
I have a question for Crash.
yes.
Okay. So when you use a jammer, which I happened to hear of jammers years ago from a movie. That's where I learned about them.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
a long time ago. It was like over 20 years ago. So
Is it the one called Enough with J-Lo?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the
Yeah,
one.
she had a cell
That's
jammer.
that's where I learned
That's
about
a good movie.
it. So my question is, so when you take a jammer to obviously have it work and block people's Wi-Fi, can you pick which networks are blocked, or is it just all of them?
It's gonna be all of them because they all run on a similar frequency.
Okay.
So, you know, when you pull up, if you're out in the public and you look at your phone and all these different Wi-Fi things come up,
Yep. Yep.
they're all a similar frequency.
Okay.
So if you try to jam something, it's gonna jam all of them, probably, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what made sense to me. Because
Yeah.
if you're going to activate it, I don't know how you can make it not affect something somewhere.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's what I'm trying to
It'll
say.
jam everybody's devices.
Okay.
Yeah, Wi-Fi and cell mobile devices too,
Yeah.
because they're all
Big,
similar frequencies.
Mhm.
big correction here. It was Love and Coco that told me about the bug spray, about the
Oh,
wasp
right.
spray. Yeah. And
My cousin swears by it. He said when he goes for a walk at night and
mhm.
it's dark out, he takes his can of Raid. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
that great big, you know what? I'm telling you, that will stop them in their tracks. You get them in the eye
Yes.
and you don't have
Yes.
to be a good aim or anything, you know? So yeah, sleeping with the
Yep.
enemy, that's another
That's a
one.
good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is good for everybody to know and to think
Yep.
about. And I have I would highly recommend those big metal bars that you stick under your door. I've
Yep.
got those for both my
Mhm.
back and front door. And again, I have no reason to believe anybody's going to come crashing in here, but you know, like Mark Klass always talks about his daughter Polly, if that window had been locked, just a little 1 second
Yeah.
little click of a lock, she would be
Yep.
alive today. And I
Yep.
never have forgotten that. So I want
Right.
everybody to take
Yeah.
And
precautions.
sometimes they're just random break-ins. I mean,
Yes.
you've got all these meth addicts out here trying to break into people's houses. They don't care whose house it is. They want to
Right.
break in and steal stuff so they can buy more drugs. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It doesn't matter where you live, or
That's right.
it's usually
You're
somebody
absolutely
you
right.
know. Most of the time it's somebody you know, but
Mhm.
rarely it's just random, a
Yeah.
random person coming into a random house. So
Right. And yeah, and Love and Coco has been bugging me to get some men's work boots.
oh
I'm
yeah.
going to put them out on the porch and a great big dog bowl, you know, great
Yeah.
big, you know, yeah, I'm going to do all of that, you know, but I'm telling you, I have the best alarm system, Scrappy Joe and
That's
Authy, best alarms ever, you
Yep.
that's what
know,
I was gonna say. Yeah.
Dogs. Yes.
Mhm.
absolutely. Do you have a dog, Crash?
No. I have
No.
stray cats though.
Oh, good. Oh, that's
They
so
keep all
sweet.
they keep all the rodents away. They bring
Perfect.
me presents
Nice.
on my doorstep
Well, oh, I
sometimes,
bet
but
they do.
Oh
They want
yeah.
you, they want mom to see and they love you and so they bring you
right.
Yeah.
little gifts. Isn't that fun?
And
I
Yeah.
it's
had
fair trade. You feed them, they
yeah.
get the
Yep.
rats.
I had one bring me a rodent heart once. It was like something
Oh.
out of a horror movie. I was expecting it to start
Yeah.
beating, you know, I'm
They
like,
tear it
"Whoa,
up.
God."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, Crash, I can't thank you enough. You've helped us understand this. I had no idea about these jammers. And now that you have been here and you're officially our expert on computers and such and the internet, you can't ever leave, just so you know. Okay. So you are now
Oh, it's
officially,
The Firm now. We got another movie.
it's
The
the firm.
Firm.
That's right. Don't try and leave. You're going to get an envelope with some scary pictures
Yeah.
if you try and leave.
Yeah.
So just know that. Okay.
As long as it's
Thank-
not a lock of haunted hair, I'm all right.
No haunted
I got that
ponytails.
already. You're
Yeah.
safe.
Stacy's got that. So no
I
worries.
know.
Crash.
God, that's
I
so
can't
funny.
wait to see you again in Las Vegas. So thanks again, and I owe
You
you
bet.
big time. You take
All
care
right.
now.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Bye
See you
bye.
later. Bye.
Bye.
She's such a great sport. I asked her at the last
Like-
minute. You know, I'm thinking, gosh, I don't even know what to say about these jammers. You know, and of course she knows it all. And we had so much fun at CrimeCon. Like, I'm so glad she's coming. You will love her, Stacy. You will absolutely love her. Now, I don't know what it is about CrimeCon, but they're the nicest people there. It's like you can only buy a ticket if you're a nice person. I swear.
Yep.
Go to CrimeCon. That's what it is like. So, okay, let's see here. Just want to see what everybody's doing. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to put the link in chat to hang on here. We have the new Nancy Guthrie forum on websleuths.com. And that is where we have the big, huge discussion thread with like 43,000 posts. And then we have all these different threads about the evidence and about the timeline. It breaks it all out. So you don't have to go through 43,000 posts to see what's going on. I'm going to put that link in chat right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I really like the thread that's just the facts.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
Because you don't usually get that, and you do have to go through so much. And so if we're
Yep.
just trying to catch up on one thing and we just want to know what is known, the facts, that's
Exactly.
great. So everybody should check that one out because, yeah, it's
Absolutely.
what we know so far, the facts. It's great. I love it.
It is really, really good. So, okay, Brian Entin put up a video about this. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but it's a great video that it explains a little bit more about the jammer. And again, there's a lot of people out there that are saying this doesn't have anything to do with the jammer. They didn't jam it, but it's just interesting that the neighbor had an issue. Now, this is as close as a neighbor can be in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. They don't live next door. They're quite far apart, but the camera that is closest to her house during that time that they say that the kidnapper was in the house, and approximately the same time, that camera quit working. It didn't record anything. And their dog started barking. So I think that's very, very telling. So let's listen to Brian Entin for a little bit, and then we'll be back to talk more. Let's see here. This is Brian Entin Investigates. And again, we're not going to obviously watch the whole thing, just the first few minutes of it. And everybody, please go to Brian's channel and subscribe. Oh, and check and make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I'm trying to get to 50,000. It's a very personal reason. I think you will be very interested when you hear this reason as to why. But we can't get past 48,933. I don't know what it is. So please check, make sure, because a lot of times I've subscribed to people and then I'll go and check and they've unsubscribed me for some reason. So if you could please subscribe to our channel, give it that thumbs up. That would just tickle me beyond belief. So, okay, let's listen to Brian Entin for a little bit and then we'll be back to discuss what he has to offer here. And then we shall move on to other topics. Again, I don't think Brian Entin's going to be in Arizona much longer. Just a funny feeling. Here we go.
Interesting development that I want to tell you guys about. There, at least investigators are looking into, the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office. They have this task force now. They're looking into a possible internet outage situation in the area around Nancy's house around the time that she disappeared, that she was abducted, early morning hours of February 1st. And what's interesting is these two Ring cameras, these are from a neighbor's house. And right around the time that Nancy vanished, these Ring cameras, according to the people who live here, showed not available, which I'm told is very, very unusual. That hasn't happened before. Then they came back online. But during the time, and these are the cameras that are closest to Nancy's house, during the time that it is believed that Nancy was abducted, these specific cameras showed not available. The other cameras on the other side of the house apparently were still working, but these cameras showed not available. Now, I shot this video to show you the proximity to Nancy's house. You can see that there's all this desert in between. That's kind of the way that the houses are set up here. You know, they're all really, really spread apart, which I've told you guys before. But this is to kind of show you, when I zoom in from where the Ring cameras are back over to where Nancy's house is. It's not entirely close, but it's close enough. And what's interesting is if you look at this picture of the suspect, many have been wondering what this antenna looking device, or looks like an antenna sticking out of his pocket, is. Some people have said walkie-talkie. Others have suspected it could be some kind of signal jammer, which could match up with this new information we have about this strange internet outage that may have taken out these two Ring cameras at this property close to Nancy. So we know that it is something that the FBI and investigators are now looking into. What's also interesting is where these Ring cameras are located. The people who live in this house, they tell me that at the same time all of this was happening, that Nancy was taken and that the Ring camera stopped working, their dog alerted them to go outside, basically in the middle of the night, which they tell me is very, very unusual. This is not like typical of their dog to want to do that. And woke them up, and they went outside with the dog in the middle of the night, and the dog was actually looking in the direction of Nancy's house. Now, whether this is all connected, we don't know, but it is interesting because if there was a signal jammer used, would that have emitted some kind of frequency that would have disturbed the dog, that would have caused the dog to wake up and want to go outside? Again, we don't know, but we know that it is something that the FBI and the detectives are looking into. At least they've been asking other neighbors also if they had any kind of internet outage around the time that Nancy was abducted. I'm joined now by Eric Maldonado. He was with the Pima County Sheriff's Office for almost 3 decades, 29 years. He's also the author of the book, Unnecessary Evil, Echoes of the Badge. Eric, thank you for joining me again. You've been super helpful because you know this area so well, this neighborhood. You've worked burglaries in this neighborhood where I am. I'm outside Nancy's house now. The first thing I want to ask you about is, so one of the neighbors who lives basically behind Nancy, but you can see Nancy's house from his yard, their Ring cameras, two of the Ring cameras only on the back side of the house went out around the same exact time that Nancy was abducted. And I also just found out their dog woke them up during that time too, to go outside, which is highly unusual, they say. Like, you know, the dog sleeps through the night all the time, and actually was looking in the direction of Nancy's. What do you make of that?
I think that's a really good possibility. I think that signals detection. Listen, dogs are still probably the best home security system. Like their ability to hear things that we don't is just incredible. It's like they understand the disturbances in the forest. So the fact that signals were possibly jammed, and you take that and you put it basically at the same timeline when the dog is woken up and he's staring or she's staring in the area of Nancy Guthrie's home. I think that's just more than just a coincidence. And there's technology out there that you can use, cell phone jammers that kind of just jam the cell phone activity, turn them off. There's there's another jammer that does Wi-Fi, and there's another jammer that basically sends signals to your Wi-Fi that tells your router system that the service is unavailable, and then it tricks your system to believing it, so your system then becomes unavailable, although it really isn't unavailable. So there's different types of technology out there, and I believe wholeheartedly, like, you know, if the dog is up and the dog is kind of acting out of character in the middle of the night when that dog typically sleeps throughout the night, you know, that's more than just suspicious. I think that's a really good indication that someone was probably at Nancy Guthrie's home at that time.
Have you ever come across any signal jammers with the work that you did? I heard like sometimes maybe the cartel uses them.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I have not personally seen it in the field, in the cases that I've handled, I was in criminal investigations for a while. I actually worked in the burglary unit for a little bit, but I did patrol for 25 years in a variety of different assignments in K9 and in search and rescue, and then just primarily assigned to patrol. And I never saw that firsthand, but I do know that that technology is out there. And here's the thing: I did some research on it before before this meeting, and this is actually pretty cheap. Like, you can get some of these jammers for less than $50. So, like, on the surface, it sounds like this, like space age technology, like it's super complicated. Like, it really isn't. Like, you can probably pick it up on Amazon. You can definitely find it on the internet, because I was searching for it earlier on, and you could find devices for less than $30. And then that kind of brought, that's kind of what got me thinking about it the last time we spoke. Was, there's a bunch of different theories about what possibly happened that night, and I have my theory. It doesn't mean that my theory is right. Like, there's a bunch of, I think, viable theories out there, but sometimes the answer is the simplest answer.
And that's true. That's called Occam's razor. We're going to listen to a little bit more of this, but I just want to let everybody know we are watching Brian Entin from News Nation, and Brian Entin Investigates. And happy birthday to Penguin. It is so good to see you, my dear, and I hope you had a wonderful day today. Okay, let's continue on with Brian Entin for just a few more minutes here. I hope this guy tells us his theory, because I'd be very interested.
And it's sometimes just really right under your nose, and we kind of overcomplicate things, especially when we can't get that forensic evidence in a manner where we're used to getting it. Like, hey, we want to get it at least within the first week. But we're on a month, and we did get some video that Google kind of pieced together, and that was great. But, like, where's the rest of the forensic data? Like, there isn't. So sometimes the answer is just pretty simple. Maybe it wasn't an abduction for ransom. Maybe it was what I believe it to be, which is a burglary gone bad. And then the question came up on the last interview, like, well, why, like, where is this cell phone data? And one of the things I brought up to you offline, and I texted you the other day about it, is like it is not outside the realm of possibility that the suspect is closer than what we possibly think they are. Like, they literally can live in a neighborhood, and people may say, well, who would do a burglary like in the neighborhood that they live in? I'm telling you, I've seen it, because you don't expect it. And if there is something of value that you want in that home, it doesn't matter where you live. That would also kind of tie in why that missing connection between Nancy and the suspect, because that's what we've been looking for. Like, what is the connection between her and the abductor? Was it, something personal? Was it targeted? Was it for a burglary for specific reasons that they just wanted to target her and only her? Like, it's obvious, like, they knew that she was probably an elderly person, probably sleeping at night. Doing a burglary during the day in that neighborhood would be entirely risky, although burglaries most of the time occur during the day when people are at work. But this is an older area. Vehicle travel isn't as prevalent as it is on some of the more urban streets and neighborhoods. So people driving around and just dumping their car on the side of the road and then walking through, backyards to kind of get to Nancy's home would have been highly suspicious, and it 100% probably would have been called in. But at night, the burglary then makes a little bit more sense. And her being elderly kind of, it adds some legitimacy about the risk reward. Can they get in to the home undetected, take whatever it is that they want, and then leave? But something happened, an altercation, something happened inside. So if they wanted something of value or something that they perceived of value, and Miss Guthrie was alerted when they made entry or while they were in the home or ransacking, through her belongings, It may have alerted her. And I think that that is what prompted some sort of physical confrontation so that she wouldn't call 911. And then I think that that's kind of proven with the blood spatter on the ground on the outside patio by the front door. So something violent happened inside. Whether she was alive or not when she left, like, we don't know. I have my personal feelings about it. You know, I don't think that she was alive when she left. And if she was, you know, like, I hate to say this, but I think the Guthries already understand this, and they've come to grips with this, and they've wrapped their head around it. Is even if she was alive when she left the home, I don't think she was alive much longer. I think she was. I think she probably had 48 hours probably in her.
It's interesting what you say about the suspect maybe being really close, which is honestly sitting here kind of creepy to think about that they could just be in the
Oh yeah,
neighborhood.
right.
But I interviewed these digital forensic experts yesterday, cell phone experts who do the tracking and everything.
Yeah.
And they were saying, you know, you look for unusual patterns, so, a phone that's in the neighborhood that's never normally in the neighborhood, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And they said they were thinking the same thing as you, because if it was someone in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
it wouldn't stand out. And that could be why we're not seeing them track someone yet.
Yeah, literally, like, and that's what I had texted you about. You know, like, you're searching for like this elusive answer. Like, you're just waiting for, like, oh, this is why we couldn't get this information. Like, they were so sophisticated in their planning, and they did this and they did that. Well, maybe they just live in a neighborhood, and the cell phones they used actually are within that geo fencing. Like, it's supposed to be in that neighborhood, and it's not. Like, it doesn't stand out. Like, there's really nothing suspicious, and they still could have turned on their phones on or off. But like, I think that sometimes the answer is just really simple, and in law enforcement, I have seen it. We overcomplicate the end result. It's like kind of like confirmation bias, where you have an idea of what the end result is going to be. You have this, like, these people are sophisticated, these people are smart, these people they're cartel, or this was a ransom for money. Well, if you wholeheartedly believe that, you run into some jeopardy there. And you can easily allow your investigation to kind of drift in that, you know, to that end result, when in reality, like, the answer might be a lot simpler. And sometimes you just got to take a step back and take a breath and realize that, listen, let's look at all the possibilities, even the most simple ones, because the simple ones are sometimes the most legitimate answers to the riddles. And this is honestly a big riddle.
And we will leave it at that. Again, I put the link in chat here. I would encourage everybody to go listen, because this is a great interview from Brian Entin. But I like the fact that they're talking about this could be somebody close by, like just from the neighborhood. And that's why nobody is noticing. I firmly believe, mark my words, what's the date today? Is it March 7th? March 7th. I don't know. What is the date? March 6th.
I
March
have
6th.
to look. Yep,
6th.
6.
Okay. When they find out who did this, they would have had a big personality change from the day before they did it until like the day after. And they probably have disappeared and reappeared. And when they find out who did it, it's going to make so much sense to the people that know this person or persons. It's going to make a lot of sense to them. So I just hope that people in the area are really thinking, you know, gosh, do I know somebody? Do I know any guys that have been acting differently? You know, shortly after Nancy went missing, somebody that disappeared and showed back up, and it kind of surprised me. You know, again, you don't want to accuse anyone of a crime just willy-nilly, but hey, it's worth checking out. And if they didn't do anything wrong, then there's no harm done, you know? Well, unless of course they go crashing in with their, you know, kick their door in and throw them on the ground. That would be different. But I'm just saying, they are going to find out when they arrest these people, the actions of how they behaved or how he behaved after this kidnapping will make so much sense at the time. Right now, they're probably just not noticing it. And he said something interesting. No, actually, he didn't. One of the members of Websleuths did. A guy named Slim Pickens said that a lot of times suspects go back to the scene of the crime. Well, I'm wondering if maybe the police have been taking video of all the people that have been, milling around the house every single day, because that wouldn't surprise me if the person that did this or persons came back just to kind of admire their handiwork. Take a look. I've told you the story about John Douglas. He tells the FBI profiler, he tells the story about how when there's a fire, especially if it's arson, to be sure and film the people in
Yes.
the audience watching it, the crowd, because more than likely the arsonist is there.
That's where they get their kicks, is watching
Yes.
it when everybody's fighting.
Exactly. And there was one fire that he told us about, and there were 11 men there, and they were all doing the, petting the dolphin, if you will. 11 at one big fire.
Geez.
Yeah.
At one?
11. Yeah. They didn't
Pyros.
start it. They didn't start it, But yeah, I mean, so especially with arson, they always seem to go back to the scene of the crime. That's why they look to firemen. When there's a big problem with arson, they'll look at the volunteer fire departments and such, because they've had that happen. So again, if it is somebody close by, I hope that somebody's got, what? I just have this feeling that there's somebody out there that has this little teeny spark in their brain that's saying, it probably is that person. Why don't you call? And they're fighting it. They're fighting it because they don't. God, that is the last thing that you'd want to do, is just call and point your finger at somebody because you have a feeling. But I just think there's somebody out there that is suspicious and just doesn't want to cause a problem. Well, cause the problem, because you could be right. You could be right. So, I mean,
Well,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because we know that if somebody does this, they are going to be acting different. That's a given. Unless there's somebody like Ted Bundy or something, then they won't, which I highly doubt it in this case.
Right.
But yeah, if people notice, and not just like you're saying, if they're acting different, if they've left for a period of time without you knowing, and it's out of character for them, or also some, people might be the whole time really sketchy because they're afraid they're going to get caught, so they're nervous, but others might be really giddy, really happy. And
Right. Yeah,
that's
they might.
unlike them.
They
Yeah.
might be all of a sudden just feeling great and like on cloud nine.
Yeah.
Because they got that, whatever it is, that pressure was off of them. They did this deed, and they just feel so good. That's what Ted Bundy talked about. Just about relief of when he finally killed somebody, and then how it would build up and build up and build up.
Yeah.
But the relief of the killing is what got him. So
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because that's another example of going back to the scene of the crime. Bundy did that. There's so many people. I mean, a lot of people do that. Koberger did that.
yes.
Oh, there's a lot of criminals that do that. So
Exactly.
yes.
So I hope they're looking at video, Absolutely. This is a great question. Penguin, and happy birthday, Penguin. Hello. If there is a cell phone jammer, wouldn't that affect the pacemaker signal and crash? Our resident expert says. Penguin.
Well, yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to read this comment.
Yeah.
It would keep it from transmitting information, but maybe not keep it from regulating her heart. Right. And what were you going to say?
Well, there's two things. So I was looking up about that. So it says that Wi-Fi signals, like my mom has one. She has the pacemaker with the thing and that transmits and everything. So they say that the Wi-Fi shouldn't affect it like that because they have protections against that sort of thing.
Right.
But I don't know. And then somebody mentioned, or she mentioned, wouldn't it affect the pacemaker signal? Well, we know the pacemaker signal was affected. We don't know from what. We don't know if it was a jammer or if it was when somebody took her. I have no idea.
Right.
know.
Exactly.
But
No, you're absolutely right.
but I would think, because like I don't know how. I know my mom connects and it goes over the phone,
Hmm.
so they check it once in a while.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
have no
okay. I had
idea.
to think about it. Yeah, so she hooks it up and then it gives the doctor, it reads it to the doctor, it gives it a thing,
Right.
it tells it what it's doing. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So again, we just don't know. There is something I want to play for you. Can you chat with the Mad Chatters for just a moment while I grab something really quickly here?
Yes. Robinson Crusoe. So my mom has a pacemaker, but no idea how to use a mobile phone.
Yeah,
That's
I hear
common.
that. Very common, very common.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's
Let's
see.
see. Oh, shoot.
See, yeah, Kelly J, that's what I think. She's saying she's talking to somebody else, but she says if something went wrong, they may have panicked and taken her. Or if she
Hmm.
accidentally died, maybe they thought no body, no evidence. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and that could
we
be.
were talking about that the other night, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
I think everybody knows about DNA now.
Hmm.
Seriously. I mean, I can't say that about many things, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows about DNA.
Yeah.
So they would be like, oh my gosh, what if my DNA is on her? Because that's how all these people are getting in trouble 30 years later.
Hmm.
And now,
Right.
so
There's this really quick NBC News thing about the Wi-Fi jammer that I want to play here. It's about 1 minute, 40
good.
seconds long. So let's play that really quickly here.
Clear answers would be great because
Yes, exactly.
reading all this different stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm so grateful to Crash. Crash cleared up so much for me
Oh,
and
yes.
for
I
us. So
know.
yeah, we are so lucky. I can't. I'm just like
Yes.
I'm giddy because I'm like, yay, we've got a great computer expert. Okay, this is from NBC News, everybody.
Several of Nancy Guthrie's neighbors tell NBC News investigators
Hold on just a second. Start
tonight
over.
in the search for new clues. Several of Nancy Guthrie's neighbors tell NBC News investigators returned this week, asking them about any potential internet issues the night of Nancy's disappearance. The homeowners say the agents told them several neighbors mentioned glitches with their internet that night. One of those neighbors tells us when they checked on their Ring cameras, this one here, the one closest to Nancy's property, said not available during the overnight hours of the abduction.
Here in their backyard, you can actually see Nancy's home. It's that brick house there. Experts tell us it would likely take a professional grade Wi-Fi jammer to knock out internet all the way to the back of this property.
Here's the jammer. Hold it up.
That's big.
Security tech consultant Ted Nearhouse showed us how a Wi-Fi jammer can interfere with internet signal and home surveillance cameras.
And you will see it go out. So that's what it looks like. It'll say not available or something along those lines.
But Nearhouse says he's skeptical a Wi-Fi jammer was used in Nancy's abduction.
If they turn that thing on when they pulled up,
Hold on, I couldn't see it because of the
Jammer
closed
can
caption.
interfere with internet signal and home surveillance cameras.
and you will see it go out. So that's what it looks like. It'll say not
Oh,
available
interesting.
or something along those lines.
But Nearhouse says he's skeptical a Wi-Fi jammer was used in Nancy's abduction.
If they turn that thing on when they pulled up, you'd never have any video on any camera. So that's why I don't think
Yep.
it was jammed.
Some online sleuths have pointed out it appears there could be something in the suspect's pocket. We asked the sheriff about that earlier this week.
Did he have a Wi-Fi jammer, a walkie-talkie? Have you been able to figure?
I've not looked at it that closely, but yeah, I know that my team has looked at it with the FBI, every angle.
And Tom, neither the sheriff's department nor the FBI have commented on any potential internet issues in the neighborhood. NBC News has also reached out to Ring and not heard back.
We thank you for watching.
Well, there you go. So that's a big fat maybe, just like everything else.
I know.
Big fat maybe.
Yeah. Because like I read that earlier about him saying it would have alerted that something went wrong with the pacemaker. It would have.
Right.
What did he say exactly? He said, I forgot, lost connection or something. That's not what he said, but it was something along those lines.
Mhm.
So if something like that did happen, we don't know, because the only thing the police have said that I'm aware of is that it disconnected at a certain time. But we don't know, was there some kind of reading like that that the doctor received or not? We don't know.
Yeah, I
You
have no
know.
idea. Now I hate mornings. I don't know what this means. She says, Stacy, you should play Ping's explanation. Do you know what she's talking about?
Ooh. Well, not offhand, but obviously Ping explained it. Remember,
Explained what though? I mean,
the jammer.
oh, the
It
jammer,
would have been
or
the
was
jammer.
it? Could be anything. Ping explains a lot. So,
Well, he's in a certain field. He would know.
yeah, he knows everything too.
He would
He's
know
smart.
some things. Yeah.
He's very, very smart. So again, guys, I literally last night, Stacy, you and I were talking about it. What the hell happened? And I keep repeating
Right.
this, but I'm going to keep repeating it. I want to ask the sheriff, holding back information, how is that working for you? It's not. Give us something. Like, what's that in his pocket? Ask the people, say, hey, everybody take a look at what this is in the pocket. Can anybody figure this out? Just ask. People will go nuts trying to help. They will do anything. They will move heaven and earth to try and help the sheriff with this case. And I'm not talking about calling him or bugging him or, going out and getting evidence themselves. No, just give them something online that they can work on. There's got to be something. I can't believe there isn't. I can't believe there isn't something that you could give, a big army of sleuthing people on the internet that could help you. And the great thing is, you can just cross it off your list. Somebody figures it out, boom, crossed off the list. Just keep doing that. So it's very, very frustrating. Let's see. Penguin says, they reported that her heart rate spiked that night, presumably during the attack. So the signal was definitely not being jammed then. Right. That's good. So we do know that. We do know that. But I just, again, we've seen this happen in cold cases where they just won't release any information. And it's not working. This is not working. Holding everything back is not working. I understand why you have to do it in the beginning. I get it. But it's not working now. I wish, damn, I wish I could just sit down and talk to him for 10 minutes. If I could talk to him for 10 minutes, I know I could convince him. But have I gone Dr. Phil on you? No. Why would I go on Dr. Phil? Did I say something that Dr. Phil would say? Good God.
I have no idea.
Somebody smack me, please. Ugh. That scares the hell out of me. So, yeah, exactly, Candy Williams. The sheriff said he hadn't looked at it. And that when he said that, I just went, what? What do you mean he hadn't looked?
I don't believe that. I think he's just saying that to brush it off. Yeah. So I firmly feel there's a lot, obviously there's a lot more going on we don't know about. There's a lot of things they know, of course we don't. But I really think at this point, it's all down to digital stuff.
I agree.
And that's why this is coming up, like they went to investigate today and ask about the jammers to the neighbors and things like that.
Exactly.
I really think that's all it is. And that's, something they're working on.
Yeah, it's when whatever that is, we don't know. But again, the theory, why? What was this motive? Was it a robbery gone wrong? Was it they knew who she was and thought that she would have money inside the house? Was it somebody who was trying to get back at Savannah? So anyway, Joe Schmo, did you see what he said? Is that a jammer in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me? Joe, kill me.
Somebody said that earlier because when we were talking with Crash and I go, well, see, we don't know if it's a jammer in his pocket or whatever. I said, that's what I thought of was that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I almost said something else.
That's okay. All thought it. And half-ass cuckoo, you're absolutely right. I completely forgot. Dr. Phil always says, how's that working for you? God, maybe I was channeling Dr. Phil. I am so sorry. If you see me, smack me. I don't care if it's years from now. Because he does say that all the time.
Oh my God.
I've got to come up with a different saying. Like, is that working out for you that way? how are things working out when you do it this way? When trying something different work better? Do we keep want to trying the same thing over and over? I don't know. I've got to come up with a different saying, but you're right. It's exactly what Dr. Phil says. Ugh. Yeah, I need a shower. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see. Four Sons' mom says they should have started the FBI law enforcement team long before they did. After a couple of weeks, you know, they did it quite quickly with the Idaho case. Yeah, I thought the Idaho case was really good, but you know, even then, people were complaining that it was taking too long. And what did it take? 6 weeks?
Oh, yeah.
6
And they were
weeks,
saying,
they got
oh,
him.
it's a cold case. No,
Yeah.
that's not a cold case. You know, a cold case is when they no longer have any leads or tips coming in. And as we know, there's callers all the time with this case. So
Right.
not only are they trying to figure this out, but then they're also investigating all those tips coming through as well.
Exactly. And I'm going to predict this March 6th, 2026. I think they have the tip already called in that will lead to who did this. They just haven't had a chance to check it out yet. Remember what happened in Delphi? They had them all along, and it took what, 7 years, whatever it was, 5 years. So
Fresh eyes had to go back through and say, okay,
Yeah.
wait a minute, this one guy was there. People saw him there.
Yeah, and he admitted he was there. Well, let's go back and talk to him. He's the only one that was on the bridge. You know, bridge guy was the only one there. So
at that moment, but there were people that saw him
right.
on the bridge. So yeah, but he puts himself there. And that's what's the best alibi ever, is to go into the cops and say, oh, hey, I was there. They're not going to, people think they're not going to suspect you.
Right.
You know?
I'm being honest. I was there. I am being open here. I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't see anything. I didn't see the girls. Yeah.
Yep.
Makes you look honest. Detective's daughter, it's so good to see you, my darling. I am glad you're here. Hi, Greg Wiggins and Bella Talian. Good to see you, my darling. Okay, this is good.
I was just going to put that up.
Hang on.
The Bella Italian.
A surgery nurse. We place pacemakers. Thank you. Very good. We place pacemakers in. They must have the transmitter to share heart rhythms, and no GPS is on pacers. They don't ping, only transmit info to Medtronic's medical device company. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So, okay. Again, somebody out there knows somebody that is in the area. Their demeanor has changed. They may have even disappeared. And I think they have a little spark in their brain that's saying, call it in. And they don't want to do it because they don't want to call in and point a finger at an innocent person. I get it. You know,
because nobody wants to think that of someone, you know, that we're close to, and that's an issue. And, you know, like you said, just if it's making you feel a certain way, if it's bothering you, you know, call it in. If they didn't do anything, they won't get in any trouble, you know?
Exactly.
Like you're saying.
Absolutely. You're 100% right. You know,
Where'd it go?
I like it to the time that I called the tip line when I swore I saw Sebastian Rogers. I did. Remember, I called you, Stacy. I'm like, oh my God, I just saw him. I just saw him walk down my street. It was him. I called it in, and they could have cared less. I mean, it was, I think was it the FBI tip line? I mean, I had to force them to take my name and number down. And I remember during the Sebastian Rogers case in the beginning, people kept popping up in chats and in our chat too, saying he's in Texas. And I saw this kid, and what caught my eye was the way he was running. He was all gangly and weird, you know, and that caught my eye. And I looked, and it looked like the guy in North Carolina that wasn't Sebastian, but looked exactly like him. It looked like that guy, that kid. So I thought, you know, I've got to, I can't, I sit there and I preach and tell people, call in if you see something. And I felt stupid. I felt embarrassed. I thought they were going to think I was weird. And they certainly didn't do anything to make me feel any better, you know? So yeah. I asked somebody that knows the family if they know if Sebastian like ran funny. And they said, yeah, he ran on his tippy toes. I can't say this kid was running on his tippy toes. I didn't look, but he was just running weird. But yeah,
I
that
knew
was,
somebody that used to do that, run on their tippy toes.
yeah, and I don't know why they would, but yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know.
Excellent.
And again, this guy, he can't be this criminal genius. My God, people. I mean, he has escaped the FBI and local law enforcement and all the internet sleuths and everybody going through all their camera footage and everything. Now, there must be something to do with a white Range Rover. There's got to be something with that because they've targeted that type of car, towed it in. My question
I don't know if they targeted the car or the person driving it.
Well, for some reason, I'm thinking it was the car.
Because they had, I don't know, they had it ready, to go to the house and him at the same time, like the other one. But
well, and there was a white
I would
Range
like
Rover.
to know,
There was a white Range Rover that drove by in that footage that they released, or not they released, that the neighbor, I think it was a neighbor that released it, and which was, I thought was very, very interesting. But this guy is not a criminal genius. How did this happen? How did this happen? So let's see. I'm seeing billboards in San Antonio for this case, third verse, or another case. Yeah, Candy Williams, I did. I felt really silly calling it in Sebastian Rogers because, and I didn't say, I wasn't going to come on the air and say anything because, people go, oh, you're just saying that just to get clicks. And I didn't say anything for 2 years. But again,
and with the Sebastian thing, you didn't. Yeah,
they made me feel really stupid. Actually,
that's who freaking said that? That's ridiculous. 'Cause I remember when that happened, and you told me, and we didn't talk about it on the show. So.
No, well, and we could have, and you know what? We could have gotten a lot of clicks, but that isn't why I did it. Yeah. So, but I have to walk the walk,
So if you did it, you'd be doing that. We'd all be doing that with every case.
Exactly.
Not just a one.
Right. Exactly. So just Call Me Kim says, I say call the police in Australia who found Chris and his abductors so fast. So, yeah, that's how I felt, Stephanie Ferraro. I wanted to help. I honestly, I did feel silly after I talked to him. Like I said, I had to force her to take my name and number down. I told her and she was, okay, well, thank you. Don't you want my number? And she's like, well, is it the one you called on? I said, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it. We got it, on the caller ID. And I said, well, don't you want my name and address? Okay. Yeah. So.
Oh man. That's things like that are really hard. Kind of like we want to mind our own business. We don't want to get involved and a lot of people and things like that. And so I know exactly what you're saying because, but if we don't do it or if somebody doesn't do it and they have that feeling, will you be able to live with that? Because what if it was? And I had an experience with that decision-making process that you're talking about, not a missing person, but we had neighbors that had moved in next door. We've lived on this cul-de-sac. I've lived here now 42 years, same house. And so we get new neighbors. And so we had some new neighbors that had just moved in. And it was a middle-aged man, his daughter in her 20s, and her boyfriend. So I had my children and some of the neighbors' children because I was taking them all to a function at the school. And it's around the corner, so I was walking all the kids. But then as we start walking down the street, his daughter, the neighbor's daughter, comes screaming and running. And then her boyfriend comes running after her, screaming at her, throwing trash cans and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God. And the little girls I had looked up at me and said, Stacy, what are you going to do? And I'm just like, oh, God,
wait.
I have to.
Who said that? Who said
the little
that?
girls I was walking.
Oh my God, really? Oh yeah, you
they looked at me and I'm
Yeah.
like, God, this is their example right now. So I went to my closest neighbor's house And I knocked on their door, and it was her brother happened to be there, who I know them really well. I babysat his children. And so I told them what was going on and asked them to call the police because I didn't want to walk back up to my house and tell my husband because I
Right.
was
Because
worried about him
he'd come
getting
out
in
and just go,
trouble. Yeah.
yeah, I'll kick his ass.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So did the cops
So,
come?
yep, they called the cops because what I thought of after the kids said that, I started walking and then I thought of Dominique Dunn. And I thought it's
And his
because
daughter.
supposedly somebody in the house was there and her fighting between her and her boyfriend and
Right.
didn't do anything. So I
Didn't do
thought,
anything.
what if he kills her and I did nothing and I could have
You know,
stopped it.
you'd feel
And
so
so
guilty.
that's when I went to the neighbors.
Dominic
Yeah,
Dunn's daughter was the one that was in was it E.T.? What was
Poltergeist.
she in? Poltergeist, sorry, Poltergeist. And she was murdered by her boyfriend in the driveway, strangled. And and he got 2 years or something ridiculous like that. So, yeah, third verse saying that she's seeing billboards for this case. So, Ivy Rose says, I don't think not being caught means he's a genius. Yeah, I was being facetious. I don't think he's a genius either. But, you know, how did he escape all these eyes and everybody? I really was being facetious. Like, he's got to be this genius. I just think he's lucky. I think he's lucky, and I think people don't want to, they don't want to think it's him. The ones that know him and see that he has changed a lot, that his actions changed, his feelings changed. He, you know, like they say, maybe he disappeared. And I think there's going to be people out there that are going to be kicking themselves for not calling it in. I do think he will be caught. And they're going to be kicking themselves and just saying, I knew it, I didn't do anything, you know. But again, I do think they have that tip there. It's just impossible. They can't go through all those tips. And it's going to take forever. It's going to take forever, months and months to investigate them properly.
Yeah. And that's something they've kind of got to do on their own.
Exactly.
You know, you can't just let anybody go to the door and question somebody, unfortunately.
Right.
I mean, good and bad, you know what I mean? But, you know, you saying this reminded me, you know, talking about a criminal genius, you know, Koberger, the whole driving by that place a lot with his phone and then then having it turned off during the time of the murders, then going back by there later with the phone, you know, and that digital evidence right there.
That caught him. That was one of the things that caught him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, he thought he was this genius, like we've talked about before, cutting up his garbage, putting it in Ziploc bags, and then putting it into somebody else's trash. Yeah.
Well, study his degree, you know, all that, you know.
Studying, he was studying crime. And what was his field exactly? Do you remember exactly what it was?
Criminology.
Was it just plain criminology? Yeah. And so, you know, he thought he was smarter than the average bear. He thought he could get away with it. But what he didn't understand was the new technology, Othram, when it comes to DNA.
Wow.
And they just grabbed the garbage and was able to trace his family and trace it right back to him. So,
but I think it's criminal justice, criminology, but he had a master's degree.
Right.
So he was going for a doctorate, I think, if I remember correctly.
He was.
You know, so he probably thought he had all the answers there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I am sure. Absolutely. And Karen Teague, I agree. What's this January 11th date that they have zeroed in on? It was a Sunday. What do they think happened on that Sunday? I'm wondering if that's when that picture was taken of that guy. And they say it was maybe on another day. Now, the sheriff hasn't confirmed that.
Right.
You know, but that's the only thing I can think of is that picture that they have, the guy standing there with the mask that is not the same as the night Nancy was kidnapped.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of is what happened on that day, on January 11th. He came by and he stood there. He you know, just went around the place and kind of cased the place, getting ready to do it. Oh, thank you, Robinson Caruso. A PhD in forensic psychology. Was that what he was getting into? No, it wasn't. No, Was it?
No.
I
No.
thought it was criminology.
Yeah, a criminal justice. So,
Okay. Oh,
criminal
thank you.
justice,
Oh,
criminology. That's why he, but then, so he got a master's in criminal justice. Now,
right.
if he was continuing to study like forensic psychology, totally, because Dr. Ramsland does that. And he
Right.
was her student,
Exactly.
but he had a degree in criminal justice. A
And thank
master's.
you, Sweets. Thank you. It says, Trish, you have your own saying. It's here's the thing. And I do say that a lot, which is annoying. But you're right. I do say, here's the thing. That when you hear me say, here's the thing, Stacy, you're going to hear something just so brilliant come out of my mouth. No, when you hear me say, here's the thing, people start rolling their eyes going, oh God, here she goes again. Here she goes again. So anyway, oh, Robinson Crusoe, you didn't do anything. No need to apologize, my dear. But what was it that one of those professors said? We're going to be, he's going to be attacking students, or what was it they said? Do you remember, Stacy?
I think we're going to be hearing about him in a few years involved in some kind of, assault, sex crime type thing.
Yeah. I mean, they had, they zeroed in on him and figured him out at a certain point. But again, can't do anything based on what you think they might do, obviously.
Right.
But
yeah.
What really upset me just a little bit more about Kohlberger is when he did when he allocated and pled guilty. He didn't really, I don't think he allocated. He just admitted.
No, he didn't allocute.
No, he didn't. I would have said, you got to allocate or we're going after the death penalty. I don't know why they didn't do that. If I could ask that prosecutor one question, that would be it. Why that house? Was it one person and you just had to keep killing because people were seeing you? What happened? This makes me so mad. So anyway, let's see. Laura Greer says, the thought that someone just wants to torture Savannah, it's just so hard to imagine, but could be true. I hope one day we know more. You know what, Laura? I think that is absolutely very possible. That for some reason they're mad at Savannah Guthrie. And it could be something so ridiculous, like she didn't say hi to him or she didn't respond to a letter. Just something where this person's just mad at her, and they just wanted to get her. Now, if it's more than two people, it's more than one person, if it's two people, then I don't think that's it at all. It's something else. But I don't think those ransom notes are connected to the actual kidnapper. I really don't. They're just weird. That's just all damn weird, So anyway. Kelly J said the prosecutor, talking about the prosecutor in Kohlberger's case, sucked as much as the one in Gypsy Rose's case. Well, again, I really, for 1 second, did not think that they wouldn't make him allocute or the death penalty was going to be on the table. Was something going to happen? Was there what? But there wasn't anything wrong with the DNA. I don't know, Stacey. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That the DNA stuff came up a lot, and the DNA. His defense finally admitted, okay, it's his, but he's not the one that put it there, or whatever. Right. It's what they said at first, because they were realized, But I think so with Kohlberger, this is something we got to remember is that so if they came to him with a deal and said, okay, and you have to allocate, and he or his lawyers or him say, no, I'm not doing that, so no deal, they might change that to get him into prison for life instead of taking a risk of him being set free.
And I understand that.
They have to think of that. So I don't know if that was what happened, and they decided to go with that.
Makes sense.
Or
that's
what,
the only thing that makes sense is they were worried that there might be a slight chance that he would get off and go free. And this is better than having him go free. That could be. That's the only thing that makes sense. But damn, it seemed like they had a solid case, especially with that DNA. You add the DNA, you add his behavior of driving around, you add his behavior at his parents' house, the way he was throwing away his garbage. I don't think there would have been a problem. I really don't. Anyway. Oh,
there's, as you know, circumstantial, and then there's the hard evidence, and it's risky. It's really risky when you're
Yeah.
going with circumstantial. And like you said, the hard evidence, there's the digital evidence, and then there was that DNA on
Yeah.
the knife,
And
which,
that is
you know,
hardcore
his
evidence
defense
right there.
attorney could have said, oh yeah, that was his, but somebody else left it there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
they could say it's his, but when was it put there? He wasn't there that night. You know, someone else put it there.
right.
Someone else grabbed that sheath and
Yeah.
threw it in there. I mean, it would be something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Candy Williams, you're absolutely right. We've talked about this. Also, Nancy was a bit outspoken about some of her political beliefs. I hate to think it was someone angry about that. It could have been she did not like Trump. She was very vocal about her hatred of ICE. And it really absolutely could be somebody who got mad at her for doing that. Or they thought Savannah didn't treat Trump properly when she interviewed him. I've read that online, and somebody's getting even with Savannah for how she treated Trump. It could be. The thing is, everything is on the table. You know, short of somebody flying in there in you know, a battery pack on their back and flying out, everything else is literally on the table. It could be anything. So it's just crazy. But again, when I say, is he a criminal genius, I'm being very, very sarcastic. He's not. I just don't know how he got away. Was it one or two? Stacey, what do you think? One or two people that did this?
Oh God. Well, it would help if we knew what was actually done to answer
Yeah.
that question.
Well,
So,
yeah,
I mean, I
obviously,
could go with one or two at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
I could go with one
Me
or
too.
two.
Jesse Roblin, UFOs, that's the other thing. We know it's not, but then again, no, it's not a UFO. But you're right. And, you know, literally, that's what it feels like. It feels like somebody from outer space came down and zapped her up. I mean, my God, she just vanished. This is nuts. This is just nuts. Bipolar Express says there was a getaway car, so two, that could be.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Anyway.
Hmm.
No Hype says, I think it was an ICE agent that did it. Anything is possible. I don't think there's anything off the table unless it's incredibly outrageous. We had a guy on Websleuths the other day. I woke up to a post that was 45 miles long with all these pictures of some random guy. I mean, just random. And why he was connected and everything about him. And I'm like, holy mother of God. Of course, it was deleted. But this person had posted this on his Twitter account and on Reddit. Just some random guy that they plucked out of the universe. No. I don't, when this happens, when he is found, it's not going to be some wild goose story, some wild goose chase that you have to go on to figure out how he did this. It's going to be A, B, and C, ... It's going to be very simple. But because we have nothing, it's not simple. I wonder if the sheriff is going to start talking a little more. It sure would be nice if he did. You know, I told you, Stacey, and I haven't said this out loud, but I've been literally thinking about writing him an actual letter, like, and mailing it, you know, like in U.S. Postal Service, just saying, you don't know me, but listen to me. I'm taking the time to write a letter, and I'm not crazy. And he's going to go, oh God, who's this crazy person? So
Okay, don't say you're not crazy. That's the first thing a crazy person would say.
that's true. I should say I am
Okay,
crazy.
don't do that.
But
Yeah.
I'm crazy, but I have a great idea, but I'm still crazy. So take it for what it's worth. Yeah, and there you go. Absolutely. A simple gala. Is that gala heart? Simple gala heart. God, I hate it when they put it all together. A simple gala heart says it's not political. Someone very close to Nancy. It could be somebody that she knows. Could be a friend's like son. It could be a friend's grandson. Now, sheriff has said the family is cleared, but he said the siblings and their spouses. He didn't say anything about anybody down the line, but I don't think it is anybody in the family at all. But yeah, it could be somebody she knows really well, and they just wanted to disguise themselves. I don't know. Oh my gosh, Jesse Roblin. let's talk about that for a minute, guys, really quick, and then we'll get on to the murders in Utah. Did you hear about that psychic? Remember, years ago, she accused this professor in Idaho of being the killer of the students, and she wouldn't stop. And she had a lot of people on TikTok. She wouldn't stop. She got restraining orders against her, all kinds of stuff. And she refused to stop. She says, I know I'm right. She did it. And it made this woman's life a living hell. When they talk about what happened to her, when this psychic, this TikTok psychic is what they call her, accused her of being the killer of the Idaho 4, it destroyed her life. And so she sued her, and they didn't even have to go to court. It was just a summary judgment because it was so obvious. And so the only thing that they went to court for was to find out how much. And they got, $1 bazillion million. And the TikTok psychic was crying and saying, I know I'm right. I know she did it. I'm not right.
Bad.
She's still doing that. Yeah.
And
it was horrible.
She's still doing it?
Oh yeah, she's still saying that it's the professor. Yeah.
Dude, doubling down. She can't, admit she's wrong, or either that or her woo-woo's way off. So,
right.
So, and
well, she's wrong. She just won't admit it. So,
yeah, I'm going to bring this up. No names, but we've also seen somebody get accused of being Brian Laundrie. And they were doxxed and all sorts of things because somebody was saying this is them on social media. And of course, it turned out it wasn't him, but they were insistent that it was him.
And it was a person that was a private person going along in their life when this YouTuber, I'm not going to say who it is, decided that guy was Brian Laundrie. Because I can tell you why. Somebody sent them this ridiculous evidence. It had something to do with IP addresses. They showed me, and I'm like, this is your evidence that this poor man that you dragged out of the privacy of his home and put everything out there and said, this is Brian Laundrie, based on these ridiculous IP addresses that meant nothing. They meant absolutely nothing. I couldn't believe it. And that person would not back down. Absolutely would not back down. But they've never said it again after a few things happened. But that was just horrible.
It was
they
so
wouldn't
bad
back
to watch.
down. Greg Wiggins, that's the thing is the sheriff has absolutely 100% cleared the brother-in-law, or the son-in-law, I should say, and the siblings and their spouses. Absolutely, very adamantly cleared them. So, yeah, exactly, Luna Blue. Oh, don't even get me started. But what I want to know is, do they still have Annie's car? And do they still have Nancy's car? I don't know. If they do, that's weird. That's very strange. Because what do they look for? It? Evidence. If there's no evidence, they give it back. I'm assuming they've given it back, but I don't know. So, oh yeah, poor son's mom, no apology. No, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Nothing. And I tried very hard to get this person to understand how wrong they were and what they were doing to this poor guy by accusing him of being Brian Laundrie. It was awful. I couldn't believe it. It was like, what the hell are you thinking? You're, sorry.
Yeah.
I know, half-ass coup. I don't understand that. It makes me so mad. Anyway. Let's see. Ivory Rose 779 says, I heard from a credible person that they do still have Annie's car, but it's in a shop being repaired. Maybe that means they tore it apart looking for evidence. Well, absolutely. And I hope they did. Because hopefully they used part of that to clear them. That's what they should do, because they were the last ones to see Nancy alive. And we have just heard, we have not had it confirmed, but we have heard that it was the son-in-law that drove her home. He should have, and I'm sure he was, looked at under a microscope and everything he touched torn apart as it should be. But he has been cleared. So there you go. Yeah, I don't understand that psychics who name people. I mean, come on, really?
Yeah.
Brady, has not been confirmed anything about the son-in-law having any sort of gambling debt. That's been a rumor that's been out there. I have seen nothing. I have seen nothing to suggest that it is anybody in her family. But again, they have been keeping everything very close to the vest. I understand that. But let me stress again, the sheriff was beyond adamant that it was not any of the siblings or their spouses. So, yes, exactly, Penguin. Yes. Don't even get me going about Summer Wells and that same person.
Yeah.
So,
Just, be careful, people,
yeah, be
Be
very
careful
careful.
what you say about others, what kind of evidence you have if you're going to make a claim, and also what you listen to and repeat that other people say about others.
And the thing is, always remember this. If somebody comes out, I'm about to expound with words of wisdom, people. So we should have total silence. Just stop what you're doing, please.
Wait, I got to
Kill the
hold on
frogs.
real quick.
Okay. If somebody comes out and they're just some random YouTuber, and I'm including me in this,
hmm
and they come out and they have this massive piece of evidence that breaks the case wide open and nobody else has it, don't believe it.
Right.
Because if it's big and if it's massive, then the mainstream media will have it. At least they'll have it quickly after. I'm not saying somebody can't break the case and finding something, but like there was somebody that had some video of a guy, just some random guy walking around, and oh, look at this. This is him. This is the guy that went to Nancy's house, and here he is at this other neighbor's house. Well, this person was the only one that had the video. It wasn't anywhere else. And I'm like, if that was something, it would be everywhere. Always remember that. So,
Yes. Yep.
anyway.
But kind of like what I was telling you happened in a group about Melody the other day,
Yes,
and that
exactly.
somebody had made a claim, and then people hopped in comments and started accusing somebody else, and
Hmm.
I'm like, wow. And then in my group about Melody, somebody came in and posted, look at this fake news somebody posted, so I'm like, oh, they're smart enough to realize,
Right.
it's
And
crazy.
again, people come out and they say something, they don't understand that your words, their words have so much power.
hmm
And you say something that you don't know is a fact, somebody will take it as a fact and run with it.
Yeah.
So it's great. And again, I'm a perfect example of that. I am still accused of things that were not true over 10 years ago that somebody accused me of, just random crap.
hmm
Still to this day, it follows me. And there's never been any proof because it was never true. So your words have power. Okay. Brady, is that Brady G? Says, could the mask guy be gang banger and people are scared to turn him in? I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why would somebody in a gang do this? It doesn't make any
There's
sense.
They don't usually make sense, but they
Well, oh,
could
but
be,
let me hold on.
say what?
Hold on. Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm not done. Just a sec.
Mm.
They can do it anonymously, and they would never know. So I don't know why they would be afraid, and I don't know why somebody in a hardcore gang would do this unless it's a gang initiation. So I'm sorry, Stacy. Go ahead. I had to get that thought out because I'd forget if I didn't.
So, and past cases and stuff. So, say somebody wants something robbed or they want somebody
Hmm.
dead, and if they have an associate that's a criminal, they might go to them and say, "Hey, can you do this for me?"
Right.
And so that's a possibility. It actually happens with certain gangs and stuff all the time where people will go solicit them to do certain things for them.
Sure. Absolutely.
So who
But
knows,
why, Nancy? Why would somebody want to hire somebody to do this to her?
That's the question.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it connected to Savannah? Are they mad
Right.
at Savannah? I think that's a very logical thought. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But that's a very logical thought.
Yes.
So let's see here.
And I had a fun thought
Yes.
if for whoever wants to do it. So, we were talking about Occam's razor earlier. And so, which is Occam's razor is, so say you have 7 theories about
Mhm.
something. Then the simplest one, people usually go with the simplest one. An example is like if your car breaks down. Okay,
Mhm.
you start with the simplest thing that could be wrong first, like say a fuse or you're out of gas or
Gotta
something.
check your gas first.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
You,
certain
you
steps that you
start
go.
with the
Right.
smaller things first. You do not
Mhm.
jump to the immediate conclusion that it's a big thing wrong with your car. And it's the
Right.
same here. So I'd kind of thought, what if people who want to write down their theories they have and then just say which one is the simplest one? And we all kind of said, hey, this is what I think. This is what I think.
Mhm.
That
That's a
would be
great
kind of
idea.
fun. Yeah.
You know what? Let's do that, Stacy. Let's plan on doing that on Monday. Let's put something together.
Yeah.
And everybody, you be thinking about your simplest theory.
Hmm.
Okay. Simplest theory. And then we can actually post them. If you're not a member of Websleuths, we can post them on Websleuths and say, here are the
Yeah.
theories that people came up with in chat. I think
That'd
that's
be
a
awesome.
great, that would be a great idea. I'm so glad I
Seriously.
thought of that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you
But
did too.
let's do that Monday. Okay, everybody, I want you to think on Monday. Here's the assignment. You have to come up with a theory. You have to pick one. That's the rule. You have to pick one. What happened to Nancy Guthrie? Pick one thing and then bring it here on Monday. And we're going to ask you and we're going to write them out and we're going to post them so they'll all be in one place. I think that's a great idea. So,
I mean, we keep talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. And it's like, heck, let's put our heads together and see what we come up
mhm.
with.
That's a great idea. Jesse Rollins says, causing pain towards Savannah has been the direction I've been leaning. And, that
Yeah.
is, again, a very likely scenario. And let's not forget, Nancy was famous in her own right. She had been on the Today Show several times. They'd even done a tour of her house. So, and Joe
I
Schmo said,
agree, Joe.
yeah, my theory is Mondays suck. Well, and that's why we're going to do it on a Monday, because we're going to give you something to look forward to. We're here to make you happy, Joe. That's our whole point. That
So
is our whole
write it
point.
on a Sunday so it's ready
Yes.
for the Monday.
Hey, you know what? Make a note. Let me make a note. Maybe Sunday we can just do a really quick live to remind everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Let me make a note here. Let me make a note. I think this is a great idea. Quick live on Sunday. Let's check with Ping, make sure he's not going live. Quick live on Sunday. And also we can talk about the book club on Sunday too.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I want to talk about that. Remind people about theories. Okay.
It's like an interactive Websleuths,
There you go.
instead
Yeah.
of posting,
We do it interactively.
Yep.
And we can, like I said, we can make one post with everybody's, put their name by it and put their theory up.
Yeah, that would be great. So also when you guys are doing this, anybody that wants to email me with the username and your theory when you've done this so we can post it, that'd be great.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. If you don't want to do it here, then just send Stacy, producer@websleuths.com. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, Angela Conley says Ping might be on Sunday as it's an Australian holiday. Yeah, he might. We'll make sure that we don't schedule at the same time as his, though, for sure. Okay, I do want to get to these murders in Utah. This is so weird. This is so, again, this is what terrifies me about going out of the damn house is just this random lunatic coming around and killing people. So here is something from KSL. And it says, an Iowa man who killed 3 Utah women said it had to be done. So let's play this now. And again, this is just terrifying. And it's what scares me. Like I said, that's why I stay in all the time. So here we go. from KSL in Salt Lake City.
Victims, multiple scenes, anything like that, where law enforcement is responding to all of these things, and a suspect that is outstanding.
Yeah, right now that murder suspect is no longer on the loose. He is in custody, accused of killing 3 random women in Wayne County. And new at 4, we are learning more about the Iowa man's criminal background.
The 22-year-old was supposed to be in an Iowa courtroom tomorrow. He's accused of several crimes, including burglary, theft, and illegal possession of a weapon. Police don't know why Ivan Miller made his way to South Central Utah. Here's a look at the map showing where his alleged victims were killed. 2 near a trailhead in Torrey, the other at a home in Lyman. Police arrested Miller hours later outside of Durango, Colorado.
Yeah, police say the victims were all from the Wayne County area. Investigators say 2 of the women were found dead by their husbands when they did not return from hiking. Jail documents show that one was shot, the other one was shot and stabbed. Stolen car led them to an elderly woman's home where her body was discovered. She also died from a gunshot wound. Investigators say at this point here they do not believe that the women were targeted.
Hard to say as far as motive or anything like that. We have not narrowed down any type of motive. It's still early on in the investigation right now. As far as it's a very tragic situation, we don't believe he's targeted these for any specific reason other than just for convenience.
Suspect was tracked using license plate readers and was taken into custody early this morning.
You know, one of the things that I saw as things were starting to unfold first on social media last night, right, is that there were orders for people to shelter in place down there, that things were closed. They were closing down the schools today because at the time last night, there was no suspect and there were at least 3 victims. So this morning, we found out that they were able to arrest the suspect, I guess, in Colorado. And there was a press conference right as we were starting the show, as I mentioned. And one of the things that really stood out to me is it seems to be random.
That's what makes it so terrifying. I mean, if you could point to some kind of domestic dispute, if you could point to something that just kind of makes sense, but these victims seem to have no connection with the suspect. There doesn't seem to be any sort of logical motive other than he wanted their car, but how did he get to Wayne County in the first place without a car? I mean, it's just, what's terrifying is the unknown, and there is so much unknown about this case.
Yeah. When we talked earlier with Dave Colley, one of the things that he said was that things seem really muted. So not only the people in the community as well, but law enforcement is just very quiet. It's already a quiet community, and this morning it seemed even more quiet.
Well, you know, I used to live in Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles during the Rodney King riots.
Oh, wow.
You know, and so when there's all kinds of stuff happening in a huge city, that's very different from a tiny community. And I've lived in tiny communities as well. Their whole world is rocked by something like this. And you don't know, I mean, they've said that they don't think there's any continuing danger to the public, but when something like this happens, you just don't know.
It shatters that illusion of I'm safe down here, right? And I know in little communities, it's a community where a lot of people don't lock their doors and, you know, don't lock the garage, maybe leave the keys in the car. I don't know. But it's got to be just something that rocks the community in a way that you don't just say, okay, well, tomorrow we're back to normal, go to school and everything's fine. It's not going to be that way.
No, that's absolutely right.
Well, we have Lieutenant Cameron Roden with the Utah Highway Patrol to talk with us today. Thanks for joining us, Lieutenant.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So this story, we were just talking, it's really pretty rattling to have it seems so random. Can you tell us what you know right now about the suspect that was arrested this morning?
So right now, the suspect that is in custody in Colorado is a 22-year-old resident out of Iowa that has no relationship with the victims and no connections to the area. So like you had mentioned, kind of one that we are still putting all the pieces together about this incident and trying to see ultimately why it all occurred. But as far as the incident that had happened, he stole a vehicle from a registered owner that was killed in the Lyman area. That vehicle was driven over to a trailhead near Teasdale and near Torrey. and off of SR 12, where that vehicle was left, and then that was where the other crime scene was, where the other two deceased females were located. One of those deceased females was their vehicle was taken, and that's what the vehicle that law enforcement tracked through southern Utah into northern Arizona and eventually into Colorado, where Colorado agencies were able to take him into custody.
Well, so how does he get to Wayne County? Why does he need a vehicle? I mean, it must have taken something to get him down there.
And that's what we're working on currently, trying to establish his movements and his involvement here in Utah prior to this incident happening, and seeing what ultimately he was doing here.
Lieutenant Roden, can you maybe answer how is that vehicle tracked?
So we were able to use some automated license plate readers that gave us some information, but then also some of the integrated tracking services in the vehicle. We were able to use both of those, and which ultimately helped us to eventually to where we could see where he was and help to coordinate law enforcement activities in Colorado so that they could get him into custody.
Just one follow-up question to that. If you're using license plate readers, I know it's a pretty rural area. Are they like all over that area? Are they just like the major parks? Or can you say? They're spread around kind of all over, and the distance that he traveled from here in this area, actually he went down into northern Arizona, up actually over to New Mexico before going up. So he traveled quite a distance.
This has got to be absolutely terrifying to everybody in the community. I mean, what's your sense of the feeling, the mood of the people that you're talking to?
For sure. Yeah, they're nervous and they're scared. We're glad to be able to tell them that the suspect is in custody and that danger is no longer there. But that doesn't take things away, and this is something that they'll deal with for a while.
So, Lieutenant Roden, you mentioned in your press conference that it was the husband of the two women found on the husbands of the two women found on the trail that called in the first report. I wonder if you can give us any sense of maybe how they're doing or what that was like.
With any type of situation like this, and having an overdue hiker and have it turn into a situation like this is definitely got to be devastating and very tragic. And so I have not personally spoken with them, but we're trying to work with them. And for their sakes, we're glad that we were able to bring this person in.
Well, how are things being coordinated now that he's in Colorado? What happens now?
So we will work on the charges here for Utah, and in order to get him extradited to Utah, but also right now we're still processing the two scenes. So still very early on in this investigation, and still a lot of things to nail down.
Do you have any general advice for the community there about moving forward, right? I mean, they probably are really shaken. What can they anticipate? This is not hey, everything's back to normal by Monday.
Right. And we hope that this is something that will bring a community together and help, especially to help support the victims through this incident. And because it will take some time to heal. And as law enforcement, we want to reiterate that we're here to help and to do what we can to bring closure.
Well, just listening to you and having watched the press conference, it sounds like you're a steady hand at the wheel here. You guys seem to be handling this really well.
We do what we can, and in law enforcement, that's one of the things that you sign up for. You want to help people, and you want to help people who are in their times of need, and this is one of those.
I just have one final question about the suspect. Well, I guess it's a two-parter. One, there's only one suspect that you were looking for, right? So no further threat to the public?
Correct. No, we don't believe that there are any parties outstanding.
Okay. And then my other just final question about the suspect. I think I heard you say this in the press conference, but there's no indication that this suspect ever had any interactions with law enforcement before now.
Not here in Utah, but again, still early on, and in the following days and time forward, we will kind of go back through his history from his time here in Utah, but also his criminal history, just not just in here in Utah, but any other state that he's got involvement in.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Lieutenant Cameron Roden with the Utah Highway Patrol. And again, keeping us updated on the triple homicide in Wayne County.
Well, it seems like there's a whole lot more to learn. So initially they said there's no criminal record, but there may be some criminal record in other states.
Right.
There we go. Okay, everybody, that was from KSL. I'll put the link in the description. Very terrifying. Didn't know these women, came from Iowa and went around and just shot them. God, that's like your worst nightmare.
Idaho.
No, Iowa.
Okay.
It wasn't Idaho. Hold on, I can tell you right now. It was, maybe we're both right. An Iowa man, yeah.
Okay.
An Iowa man was arrested in Colorado for his alleged role in the murders of 3 women. Yeah, he came straight from Iowa, like he drove here and said it had to be done. Obviously, severely mentally ill. But again, we can write this script. He's probably been in and out of mental institutions, and can't keep him in one because he can answer who the president is, and probably wasn't a danger to anyone, they thought, until now. Again, it's just.
I don't know. He, so, it was an aunt and her niece that were killed. And, so, and I hate to burst your bubble, but the older woman was in her house. So,
No, do not tell me that. Do not tell me that.
And so I don't know if he was absconding for something, because he went to her and killed her because he wanted the car. And then he went and killed the other 2 women, allegedly, because he wanted another car to switch cars. And so I don't know. But yeah.
Oh, look at this. He hid behind the door in the older lady's home, then waited until she sat down to watch TV, and he shot. See, I always lock my doors. And I have, security. So if anybody is around my door, I get an alert and I get a video. So, but again, this is in Wayne County, guys. I can't tell you how small that is. It's isolated. They've probably never had any sort of problem there ever. They would never think to have any security at their house because they wouldn't need it. Oh, you guys, it's just awful. Okay. Well, on that happy note, actually, I do want to tell you something. You can do something really nice and really good, and it doesn't cost one single thing, and you can do it right now. And that is subscribe to the new Othram Studios YouTube channel. Okay. Now, I can't say enough good about the people at Othram, and they're going to be putting up their stories here on YouTube. And I just looked, they only have 287 subscribers. Come on, people in chat. If you're watching this, I'm going to put the link up right now. If you're in chat right now, please go over there and subscribe. Let me play their trailer. They're going to be putting up some of their Othram stories. And I am telling you, these people at Othram are the most loving, hardworking, amazing people. And I, for one, cannot wait to see their stories on their Othram channel here. It's called Othram Studios on YouTube, and we're going to play this right now. So here we go. There we go.
Living in a society where 50% of murders go unsolved sounds terrifying.
We're helping build technology that's introducing a seismic shift in how criminal justice works. If there's DNA evidence, there's a good chance that the case can be cracked, that the identity can be restored. And that's what we do here at Othram.
We bring hope to hopeless cases.
Unsolved crime is really a choice. We wanted to start bringing some of the stories that we've uncovered as we work these cases with law enforcement to everyone.
Showing the cases that are resolving that were previously unsolvable.
We want to tell these stories and deliver them directly to you, which is why we started our own channel.
They located a female who was deceased. She was naked. She had no identification with her.
We met with the medical examiner's office in Harris County and attempted to recover some evidence.
From that point, the case went cold.
I think it was so horrible of a death. We have young kids, right? And so seeing a teenager in that state is devastating. I just remember my husband was no longer the same at all.
I don't believe that anybody other than Othram has been able to get DNA the way that they extracted DNA in this case.
We want people to know what's possible.
So there you go. Okay, come on, guys. I'm going to put the link up again. Please, please subscribe. I can't believe they don't even have 300 subscribers yet. Othram.
Wow.
Whoops. Hold on. Now my computer's just jumping all over the place. Othram Studios. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And if you love Websleuths.com and you love this channel, it's all possible because we've partnered with Othram. So come on, go over there, walk over, trot over, click, click, done, done, done. Come on, you can do it. We've got 375 in chat now. Let's at least get them to I'm going to try and get them up to 1,000 subscribers at least by the weekend. So that's going to be my goal here. So, okay, I think that's everything. Stacy, do you have anything else, my darling?
No, I don't. I think
Okay.
we covered it.
I do. Okay, so tentatively, we're going to come back Sunday sometime. We're not sure when. Oh, by the way, spring forward this weekend. We have to put our clocks ahead an hour. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. But do keep that in mind, okay? We are going to come on Sunday sometime, and we're going to talk about the Websleuths Book Club, Websleuths Investigative Book Club, and we're going to talk about our Nancy Guthrie theories. We want you to put a theory together. We won't be asking for them Sunday. We're just going to talk about them and remind you. And then Monday's show, come with your theories, and we're going to put them all together and see what we come up with. I think that's a great idea, Stacy. Again, I'm going to take full credit for it. It's such a good idea. So, but really, I mean, who knows what'll come out of it? And guys, I'm telling you, I cannot say either way whether anybody connected to the Guthrie case reads at Websleuths, any law enforcement. My guess is I would say absolutely they do. Absolutely. So let's do that. That'll be sometime Sunday. Remember to spring forward this weekend. And we've got to thank our wonderful moderators. Four Sons Mom, Lynn Jen 2, Detective's Daughter, Moonlight View, Love and Coco, Leisha Gallegos. Ladies, thank you so, so much. Stacy, thank you. And we'll see you here sometime Sunday, definitely Monday, 10:30 Eastern on Websleuths YouTube Live. See you then, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.